Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ageless in America. We're just delighted to have you join us on this beautiful Saturday morning. My name is Anna Johnson, and with me is my debonair and delightful host, Lew Wilson.
Thank you. Hey.
I
I
thought
love
maybe
being
you'd
here.
like those adjectives. Is that okay?
I'll take all I can get.
And sitting in with us during this segment is Ernie Moses. And Ernie is the general manager over at Candlewood Suites. And we'll be talking with Ernie in a few minutes about traveling and the kinds of hotels you should expect, what you should expect when you book a hotel on your vacation travels. But I'm all set for Easter. Tomorrow's a big day. It's a holy day and a holiday. So I have my bonnet with me today.
Oh, it's Easter weekend, and
Yeah.
since you have a bonnet.
You gonna sing?
Oh, let me tell you something. I brought something special. I brought my Bing Crosby hat.
Debonair?
In your Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade.
You do very well. That's so
Thank you,
good.
my dear.
All right, everybody clap. Everybody
Yay.
clap. Yay. Okay. That was good, Lou.
Thank you.
All right,
That
so
was
we
very
have
nice.
a bonnet, and what do you call that?
This is a fedora.
A fedora.
So it's the closest I could get to Bing's fedora that I could find. If I could just have his looks and his voice, I'd be in good shape.
Well, you did a good job on
Well,
this
thank you.
Saturday morning, and of course, we're delighted to have Ernie Moses
it's a
with
pleasure
us
to be here.
today, and he's going to be talking to us about what we need to look for when we book a hotel.
Yes. I think it's very exciting because, there are a lot of questions that not just seniors have, that everybody has when they're traveling.
Right.
Kind of like a location. When you're going to a certain city, does it matter what location the hotel's in, depending on price for what you book?
Absolutely. If you're looking for a good price, you want to try to stay out of the main parts of town, like downtown areas and things of that nature. It's always a good idea to look for a hotel on the outskirts, or if you're going to look for a hotel in the downtown area, go to your third-party sites and see what kind of deals they have maybe on those sites, and then also go to websites that are designed for the hotels themselves. And you've got advanced purchase options and things of that nature that will help you save money if you know for sure you're going, and your dates are definite. Do the advanced purchase option, because that will save you money.
Well, that's pretty important, because when you go to a hotel in the outskirts, most of those hotels or third-party places would be familiar with the different types of transportation that would quicken your route.
Right.
That would normally be shorter in town, and they would be more familiar with that.
Absolutely, and if you find somewhere that's off the interstate or near a main highway, that's always something to look for, because then you're going to probably get a better rate there, and then you can always go to your destination or whatever your travels are going to be within town, and you save yourself a little money as well in that by doing that.
I notice sometimes when I go online to book a hotel, it'll say package deals. Are they good to look at?
Well, if you're going to do, like, usually third parties will do package deals, like they will offer like airline, hotel, and car. Now, if you're, depending on whether you're going to drive in or if you're going to fly in, or whether you're going to, if you're going to do all three. I mean, it really depends. If you're going to be flying from a destination, into town, and you can get a hotel, car rental, and a hotel in a package, then, or your airline flight as well, then it's a good idea to go ahead and do that option. But also, one thing to do is to look, always keep in mind, even though you're on a third-party site and you find a hotel you like, it's a good idea to actually call that hotel, because the price, if you just want the hotel, then call the hotel directly. Call the hotel directly, because when whatever is posted on the internet is the actual price of the hotel.
Yeah.
There is really no savings there at the end of the day. They're just a third-party site that is selling your hotel,
Right.
which we welcome. We're partners with several.
Right.
But the
I
actual
got burned badly
Right, but
on that one
right.
and you do that one time and you
right,
learn a lesson.
and exactly, because you're just because the prices, I would call the hotel and do your homework. It's always a good idea to do that. And then there's other sites that you go to where you put your name in the hat, so to speak. Now you may be getting a rate, you may be getting a good rate, but a lot of times you have no idea where you're going to stay. So just
But you can request a certain room, correct?
you certainly can. You can request it, and that's when you do request a room through a third party. That's great, and you may end up with that. But in some cases, you may not. You may not. It just really depends.
I like calling the hotel.
It's a good idea. It is a good idea.
do.
It is a good idea to call the hotel, and then that way you're dealing with the hotel.
Right.
If you have a cancellation or if you have an issue with something, you're talking directly with the person that you're going to be staying with.
Right. Wow.
It's
That's
like
just-
speaking with the horse's mouth.
Basically, that would just be my, it's just usually my recommendation. But we are partners with several other parties, which we do recommend, shopping with.
Right.
Absolutely.
Shop around. Well, Ernie Moses, thanks so much for being our
Certainly.
guest. And he is the GM of Candlewood Suites in Tallahassee. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about a super great organization that's dedicated to helping our seniors. So stay with us.
Coming up next, great information on Social Security.
Do you have a loved one who needs help with cooking, light housekeeping, or simply companionship?
Or do you know a post-surgical patient or a new mom who needs a little help around the house?
Healing by Nature in-home care and senior services provides dependable and compassionate caregivers to allow you or your loved one to remain in the security of your own home. Call us today or visit our website for more information. Healing by Nature in-home care and senior services, where it's natural to heal at home.
Some things are better with nuts, like brownies. Chocolate fudge. Banana split. Cookies, yum. Pecan pie. And some things are better without nuts. Spay or neuter your pet. It's the responsible thing to do.
The Area Agency on Aging for North Florida is an aging and disability resource center for the Panhandle and Big Bend regions. We can help you apply for Medicaid, long-term care, and we offer a network of community partners for senior health and wellness. Services include elder abuse prevention and awareness, Medicare and long-term care counseling, as well as our Elder Helpline, connecting elders and persons with disabilities and caregivers to community resources. Call us today.
We invite our seniors to join us for Senior Day.
Wednesday, April 15th at the Florida State Capitol.
Have your voice heard.
Join us for free lunch, health screenings, exhibitor booths, and a town hall meeting on senior issues.
Visit floridaseniorday.org.
Well, welcome back to Ageless in America. Anna Johnson here with my co-host Lew Wilson, and I think we've got an interesting topic for you during this segment. The Claude Pepper Center, in their research, found out that over 70% of retirees depend on Social Security for their income in the later years. And Dr. Larry Prolifka joins us. Larry is the director of the Claude Pepper Center that's located on the FSU campus in Tallahassee. Larry, I mean, that's even hard for me to say, 70%.
Yes, and it's been a high percentage for a long time. I mean, Social Security really went into effect in 1940 with the first payments. But it appears that over the last 30 years or so, that the percentage of people depending on Social Security for most of their income in retirement is increasing. And some of the projections we've seen in our work at the Pepper Center indicate that that percentage is going to continue to increase even through the retirement of the baby boom generation. So what that means in effect is that Social Security, as important as it has been historically in ensuring retirement security, is going to be even more important to more people in the future than it has been in the past or today.
Well, what makes me mad is every time something happens with the budget, the first thing politicians say, oh, they scare seniors by saying, we're going to have to cut Social Security.
I find that to be a real concern as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when you recognize that the need for it is increasing,
Yeah.
and at the same time you've got some policymakers talking about how we've got to cut it because it's not sustainable over the next 20, 30 years, that raises a real concern. I mean, we've had a certain amount of erosion in the private sector retirement in terms of pensions, moving from what are called defined benefit guaranteed pensions to defined contributions, which depend on how your money does in the stock market or the equities market over a period of the time you're working, maybe 30, 40 years. That's a big difference from what their parents, from the parents of workers today. Most of them had a defined benefit guaranteed pension with the companies they worked with. That has changed dramatically since 1980 in just a little over 30 years. Now, today, only 17% of the workers have a defined benefits guaranteed pension. Most of them had defined contributions. And historically, at least for the last 30 years, those pensions have not performed as well as the guaranteed pensions of the past. So that's one of the reasons we've got this gradually increasing reliance on Social Security, the public source of pension, income. And it's projected to increase. So that means that making Social Security strong, ensuring its solvency is more important today than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It'll be more important in 20 years from now than it is today. That's what we should be serious about.
But how do we do that?
Well, you've had the effort, frankly, to cut Social Security in any significant way, whether it's to cut the benefits or to increase the retirement age beyond the 68 that will eventually kick in as a result of the Greenspan Commission from '83. There have been efforts, there have been initiatives to make reductions, and they haven't worked. And they haven't worked, I think, in large measure because policymakers, congresspeople, hear back from their constituents. You cut this, what are we going to do? What are our parents going to do? And that has caused serious pause so far in any effort to significantly reduce the program.
Let me tell you, this is a very important topic, so we'd like to have you back soon to talk about this and what we can do. I mean, I hate that fact that 70% live on Social Security. So,
Yeah, and I'll be happy to.
okay, thank you so much. We'll be back.
Up next, a free concert for your enjoyment.
Some very cool local firms want to make your golden years the best years of your life. There are benefits to being over 50, and there's one convenient place where you can find them, localseniordiscounts.com. Imagine discounts for more than 25 area restaurants, retail and shopping, health, medicine, household services. For details on these special offers, visit localseniordiscounts.com. You'll be glad you did.
When it comes to an award-winning Sunday brunch buffet, Andrew's Capital Grill and Bar is the only name in town. Eggs Benedict, made-to-order omelets, a carving station with roasted turkey and Angus roast beef, and side selections that can only be made better with one of our mimosas or Bloody Marys. Happy hour is all weekend and includes ice-cold draft beer and a great selection of craft beers and 2-for-1 margaritas. So be sure to start your week off right at Andrew's Capital Grill and Bar, the heart of downtown.
We were born to create. We live to awaken the senses and enlighten the mind. We delight the spirit and soar with the angels. We have an exceeding desire to be, to do, to expand. Embrace your opportunity. Tell your story. Impact Visual Media. Don't be content with your content. Love it.
Well, welcome back. Those travel tips were great.
Yeah,
I
he's
tell
a
you,
good guy.
Ernie's a great guy from local Candlewood Suites. And speaking of travel, we have a new booklet that we want to show you. It's called United We Guide. It's a mobility management program for the Capital Region. It is an entire booklet on all sorts of transportation in 5 different counties. You can get this at the Area Agency on Aging. They are our title sponsor, and of course they are on the website agelessinamerica.org. So make sure you look this up. It is finding the right transportation option for you. another great resource for you.
It's a tremendous information in that book, and it's free?
Yes, and it's free. Yep.
Wow. And all they have to do is call? Or
Yes,
how do
of
they
course
do it?
you call 1-855-1-RIDE, and we'll put that phone number up for you as well.
Yeah, that's good, and they'll mail it to you, and I think that's terrific. In fact, I need a copy of that myself. Coming up, our good friend Chris Hecox joins us, and we're going to be talking about opening nights once again at Florida State University. And then Chucha Barber and her son Ryan gives us some more digital tips, so stay with us. Well, opening nights at Florida State University is coming to a close in a few weeks, but you still have time to get tickets to one or two more performances. And Chris Hecox joins us right now. He is the director of opening nights. And when I hear the word Brooklyn Rider, Chris, that sounds familiar. Were they here before?
They were here as another group. So in February, we had Bela Fleck performing the Florida premiere of his banjo concerto with the orchestra collective called The Knights out of New York. The Knights was actually started by Brooklyn Rider, which is a string quartet. So they were here with Bela, and now they're going to come on their own, just as a quartet, not as a full orchestra, and participate in Tallahassee Music Week. Tallahassee Music Week was a KCCI project that was put together to highlight our local musicians, our students, and our professional organizations that present music. So we decided to bring Brooklyn Rider here and play some free concerts around Tallahassee for our community, just some way of giving back to everything that the community gives to us in supporting opening nights.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
We're in different venues around town?
Yeah, we're actually going to have them perform in the Club Down Under at Florida State University. It's kind of a different venue, but it'll be fun for people that are on campus. But they're also going to do a performance at the St. John's Cathedral downtown. And these performances are going to be kind of lunchtime performances, so you can take a little break, go see some music, have a little lunch. So we're really, really looking forward to having them come to Tallahassee.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
And so, but when will they be at Ruby Diamond?
They're not going to be at Ruby Diamond. They're just going to do these free concerts
in and
here,
around town.
In and around town.
And so we don't need any tickets.
Don't need any tickets. You can just get information on our website, which is openingnights.fsu.edu.
That is incredible. That's fun.
It will
Thank you,
be.
Chris,
Thank you.
for being our guest. And stay with us. There's a whole lot more.
Hi, I'm Chucha Barber with Impact Visual Media, and I'm here today with my son Ryan Barber for another Digital Minute. Ryan, I happen to have a Mac, and every time I use my Mac, no matter what I want to do, I get that beach ball that kind of tells me things are not going well. So I think it's time for a new computer. What do I need to do to keep the stuff I want from my existing computer and put it on my new device?
Well, one of the reasons why your current computer may be operating slowly is because you have a lot of information saved on that particular device, and so it's bogging down your processing time. So I would encourage you to purchase an external hard drive. That's something like we have here. They make several makes, models, sizes, depending on your needs. But for the purpose that you've asked, changing computers or moving files from one computer to another, a portable device like this is really great. I've plugged in our external hard drive into this computer, and you can see that icon appears here in orange. It'll likely appear differently depending on your machine and the one you purchase, but for all intents and purposes, it appears the same way. Let's say I plug this into your current computer, and I have a particular file, like our test document here, and I want to save it on that drive. I simply drag and drop. That sound indicates that that file has been saved to that particular device. I can open this up to show that it's done that. If I scroll down, here's our test document. But what's really great is now I can take this device and plug it in any computer that I want to access that file. Also, I can delete this test document by moving it to the trash can on our current computer to free up some of that space and storage.
So a new computer is sort of like a way to spring clean and clean out your old stuff, right?
Absolutely, and I would encourage you to do so.
Would you like to come over and help me put stuff on the portable hard drive?
Maybe if we had a digital hour.
Well, we'll be back for another Digital Minute. We have to have something else to talk about, though.
Join us as we celebrate Florida seniors on April 15th at the Florida Capitol.
The Area Agency on Aging for North Florida is an aging and disability resource center for the Panhandle and Big Bend regions. We can help you apply for Medicaid, long-term care, and we offer a network of community partners for senior health and wellness. Services include elder abuse prevention and awareness, Medicare and long-term care counseling, as well as our Elder Helpline, connecting elders and persons with disabilities and caregivers to community resources. Call us today.
Some very cool local firms want to make your golden years the best years of your life. There are benefits to being over 50, and there's one convenient place where you can find them: localseniordiscounts.com. Imagine discounts for more than 25 area restaurants, retail and shopping, health, medicine, household services. For details on these special offers, visit localseniordiscounts.com. You'll be glad you did.
We were born to create. We live to awaken the senses and enlighten the mind. We delight the spirit and soar with the angels. We have an exceeding desire to be, to do, to expand. Embrace your opportunity. Tell your story. Impact Visual Media. Don't be content with your content. Love it.
Well, welcome back, and today we have another special guest on this part of the show. We want to welcome with us Twyla Sketchley. She is an attorney with the Sketchley Law Firm. She's an elder law attorney, which is actually specialized, which is wonderful because we need more of people like you out there.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about family caregivers. It's so important to understand certain aspects about caregiving, and you know, they provide the vast majority of long-term care in the United States, do they not?
Yes, family and friends provide what we call informal caregiving. And this is the day-to-day activities for your disabled loved one that they can manage: eating, dressing, bathing, being fed, getting to and from the store, picking up their meds. And family members and friends provide in value, meaning in dollar value, billions of dollars of informal care every year, most of all of which is uncompensated.
And we don't think about that, the value. Most caregivers do it out of complete love, for what they do, with no pay.
And that is correct, not only with no pay, but some studies have shown that family members out of their own pocket, meaning cash out of the pocket, spend as much as $5,000 a year on average. Now that's an average of what everybody spends. Some families might spend $70,000, some families might spend $500 every year taking care of a loved one.
Wow, that's incredible. We know that there's a lot of family. Who else becomes caregivers? Who else can you rely on to be a caregiver?
Well, most people rely on their spouse or their children. Usually it's their daughters or daughter-in-laws. If you don't have family members, a lot of people rely on their friends, usually their close friends, oftentimes their church families. Then once, if your care goes beyond that, you can hire people to take care of you from agencies, or you can go into an assisted living or nursing home depending on what you need.
If you volunteer to be a caregiver, what are the legalities there?
Well, family members, there aren't really any requirements on family members. You're going to care for your mom, you're going to care for your husband. If you volunteer through an organization, oftentimes they require you to have a criminal background check. Some require you to meet certain other criteria just for the safety of their clients. So, they want you to be able to lift a certain amount, or they want you to be able to do certain kinds of things so that you don't hurt yourself and they don't get hurt too. But a lot of organizations in our community, like hospices or Alzheimer's Project or Alzheimer's support groups, they allow people to come in and volunteer, and they do things like music therapy. They come in and sit with people, might run errands or shop.
And give the caregiver a break, basically.
Yes, and that's extremely important. Family member caregivers suffer from higher incidences of health-related illnesses that are related with stress, sleep deprivation, things like high blood pressure, depression, indigestion, all of those things. And so it's extremely important for family caregivers to get respite care at least once a week.
Right, and so you can check with so many organizations in our area that help the caregivers
Yes.
in various ways. Thank you, Twyla, for being our guest. It's always, she gives us such valuable information every time she comes on. And you know, I hate to say this, but as I get older, you know, I always try to learn from older people and what they say and what they do on how to age gracefully. And I heard something from Betty White. This is
she's
what I
my
read. She's
favorite.
just amazing to me. She said, "I'm blessed with good health and love what I do for a living." And that is a great combination. And you know, that's basically the way I feel. I hate to say it, but you know, as I get older, I want to keep doing everything that I love to do, and it seems to help. So.
Absolutely. That's where staying active and staying healthy
Yes.
allows you to do those things. But the knowledge of what's out there that can help you through all of these instances, whether it's caregiving or caring for a parent or whatever the case may be, know where to go and who to see, because it's a lot easier to get through those things.
Right, just stay active. Twyla, thank you for being
You're
our
very welcome.
guest.
Yeah.
And
Thank
we thank all of you out there for joining us every Saturday morning for Ageless in America. And we'll look for you next Saturday, same time, 11:30, WCTV. So, as we say,
Stay active.
and stay healthy. So long, everybody.
See ya.
See.
Transportation.
Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead.
We'll get that next time.
Oh,
It's okay. We're just bantering on the final roll. Yeah, we want to keep it going, keep it going for the credits.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. Okay, sorry.
In
I'm
your
sorry.
Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it.
Let me see the book.
Oh, yes.
Keep singing.
Okay.
Brought to you by the Area Agency on Aging for North Florida.